More new Metallica. Let's fucking go! All right. That's pretty mean. Nice little build. Adding a few elements at a time. I hope they're building to something awesome. Because this is ramping up the tension. All right. My headphones over here. Cool, like, kind of splicing those riffs together. Did he just, like, miss a crash? Weird. Alright. I don't know. This is what you were building to? All of that build? Okay. And then a cool variation on the riff. Oh, more shun words. Oh, just the one. Temptation. Temptation. And then a completely new riff. After all that. I mean, Lars always puts crashes in weird spots. That was weird. That's sick though. That's a good chorus. Okay, this riff again. So many times. I feel like we're waiting for so long at these parts. Temptation. All right. Come on. Like, let's just go for it. Oh, domination, captivation. Come on, man. It's like the same shit as the last song. Shun, 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 shun. Shun, shun. But this chorus is sick. Oh. Let's stop and introduce another riff. 4 times? Come on! That is, once again, more local band moves from the biggest band on the planet. And another pentatonic wank fest. That is a sick guitar tone, though. Like, it's kind of dry. Where did that come from?
Return again to where it's darkest, dragging home the seed and harvest, and all the children subjugated.
Hetfield still sounds like gold, man. Fucking gold. His voice is so good. It just gets better and better as the rest of the band gets whatever and whatever. And here's the third chorus. A good chorus. Sounds exactly the same as the first two. Like they just copy and pasted it. And a cool little variation. Oh, that was not a good punch. I'm about to gong your engineer for allowing that. Cause like do another take. Oh, adding something to the riff. Change it up a little bit. What is that? Is that Trujillo? Was that a little lead bass? And that's the end? That's your ending? So right now I'm going to break down what I thought they did well and what I thought they didn't do so well. But if you're interested in learning more about writing songs, you're definitely going to want to check out my course, which is called Complete Rock and Metal Songwriting. You can get that at the link in the description. I think that the elements of this song are all pretty awesome. They're solid riffs. The chorus is really good in this song, but it feels like they didn't care about it enough to like make it feel important. When we get to the chorus, it's like, oh, okay, I guess this is the chorus of the song. There's just no pomp and circumstance. And every single chorus sounds exactly the same, exactly identical. There's no growth throughout the song. There's no second guitar part that's happening during the chorus. There's not any harmonies aside from it being doubled an octave down. And it just, I don't know, it feels like procedurally generated. Like at no point did somebody listen to this and go like, yeah, what if we like added something to change up the chorus like when it happens later on? I don't know, maybe like put a second guitar part in there somewhere. Maybe we layer up some harmonies. Maybe we like do anything, literally anything. Change up the drum part, play it double time, play it half time. These are all tricks that anybody can use, that Metallica has used before tons of times, and they just didn't. I want you to actually, as a Metallica fan, ask yourself, if this was not Metallica doing this song, if this was a local metal band from your scene who was comparably skilled, maybe sounded this good, and they released this song, would you honestly be as stoked on it as you are right now? I don't really think that you would. This may not be obvious to you watching this, but I actually fucking love Metallica. I know that, like, I'm seem kind of harsh here. You might think that I don't like Metallica at all, but this is not good Metallica, even by Metallica standards. I said this during the reaction, but one of the prime complaints that I hear from metalheads about pop music is how repetitive it is. But every pop song that I've ever listened to, studied, paid attention to, is not even close to as repetitive as this. In pop music, the repetition serves a very distinct purpose, and it's done in such a way that every time things repeat, they're like adding things to it. As the song goes along, the part grows. So, for example, if you listen to the final chorus of most pop songs and then you go back and listen to the first chorus, you'll notice that usually the first chorus sounds kind of sparse in comparison to the final chorus. That's because they're adding elements as it goes. Every time something repeats, it's not repeating exactly the way that you just heard it. And in the intro, they were doing that. and it was cool. And then they just stopped trying. In this song, stuff repeats verbatim, exactly the same. And that to me is the worst kind of repetition. Then it's repetition with no purpose. It's just repetitive. If you're new here, you should know that this is a channel that is all about songwriting and music creation. And I just want to make sure more than anything else that anyone watching this who's a musician who writes their own songs needs to know that you can't get away with this kind of shit if you're not Metallica. With all of this stopping, introducing the riff, and then starting, taking forever to get to the chorus, you can get away with this if no matter what you do, people will listen to what you're putting out. It's pretty goddamn unlikely that you are anywhere near this level. People will listen to anything that they put out, anything. Saint Anger probably sold more copies this week than anything I'll ever put out. So we got to keep that in mind when we're writing songs, that we not do what they're doing, because this is a legacy band. They have millions and millions and millions of diehard fans all across the world. I'm actually kind of late to this reaction today. This video came out 9 hours ago, and it's already close to 1 million views. Trey, how can you criticize this? It's obviously doing very well. People seem to be having a great time with it. That doesn't make it good songwriting. Last time I did one of these, I talked about what I consider to be local band moves, things that Metallica were doing that I hear out of local bands who do it very, very badly and do a lot of these same dumb things like introducing every single riff like it's the greatest riff that's ever been, and that people have to hear it 4 times every single time before the verse or the chorus is going to start or whatever. And what I realized is that part of the reason that local bands do this is because every single person who plays the guitar in a rock or metal band has listened to so much Metallica over their lifetime that they think that that's a thing that you should do, that you think that that's the way to do it. But the way that Metallica has done it in the past with their much better written songs was much, much more interesting. Sure, plenty of their songs have these long intros, like Battery, Master of Puppets, One. All of these songs that are absolute masterpieces have these long intros, and some of them are intros to long songs too. But they did it in a way that was infinitely more compelling than this. This feels very uninspired, much too sterile and clean and boring. I think that they did a killer job in the beginning of this, ramping up the tension, getting me excited to listen to the song, and then they just kind of blew the drop. Like, they built all of this momentum and tension, and then they just dropped it like they didn't care about it. This is a problem that I talked about in my How Metallica Writes a Song video, in which I attempted to write a song that sounds like it would be a Metallica song, and that is the chicken problem. Maybe you've heard this analogy before. The reason that everything tastes like chicken is that God couldn't decide what to make chicken taste like, so he made it taste like everything. Metallica is such a hugely influential band that everybody copies them. And sometimes it works really well, and sometimes you can create something that's awesome by stealing a lot of their moves, because so much of what they have done is iconic, works really well, and is just awesome. But a lot of it, you just can't get away with it in 2023, especially if nobody knows who you are. If you're not already a hugely established band that people are going to care about what you're doing, you shouldn't try to do a lot of this stuff. And in my opinion, I don't think that Metallica should do it either. I think that this is kind of bloated, self-aggrandizing bullshit songwriting, to be honest, and I don't really know why they're doing it like this. The first single that they put out from this album is half the length of this, but way better, because they didn't do all of this shit. This is 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound sack. It needs to be edited. It needs to be cut down. It needs somebody to care more. Forget about what they used to sound like. I don't actually want them to go back to sounding like Master of Puppets, Justice for All, the Black Album. I don't really want that. I just want them to do something that's awesome, that's the next thing that they're gonna do, because they were so influential because they were pushing the boundaries. They were doing amazing new things. This feels like they're giving up when it could be so sick. I want to hear this cool little bass thing that they did in the end here. I think those were like big old chords on the bass, and it made the whole thing like feel very different, recontextualized what we were hearing in a really interesting way. Why didn't we have more of that? Maybe we did it, I just didn't even notice, but like, okay. When I talk about how every single rock and metal musician is super influenced by this band, I'm talking about myself as well in a very, very big way. I worshipped Metallica, absolutely worshipped this band. And so much of how I learned to play guitar, to write songs, all of this stuff comes directly from them. If Metallica had a son, here I am. For the most part, production-wise, performance-wise, this is pretty fucking awesome. Like, it sounds great. Hetfield continues to sound like gold. Like, god damn, the guy's voice is so good. But to me, this is an absolute structural nightmare. It just feels very, very self-indulgent to me. Look, I gong because I love. This is not a hate gong. This is, hey, I care very, very much about your band, and I want you to be making great art like I know that you're capable of. So the gongings will continue until morale improves. If you're new here and you haven't already, please subscribe for more songwriting content, for more gongings. Oh, sure, Trey, criticize Metallica. Let's hear you do better. Well, maybe I can, maybe I can't, but I did try at the very least. And I put my money where my mouth is, and you can hear the result right here, in which I attempted to write a song in the style of Metallica. And, you'll have to let me know what you think. And also, if you want to listen to my band, you can check out our newest music video right here. And, if you want to roast me the same way that I'm roasting the Metallica boys, feel free. And I'll see you real soon.